Good morning, Spelman. It's Friday, September 24th, 2021, day 2.
On today's show, Ms. Norberto speaks to the seniors about the SATs.
We have a special video from the Spelman archives.
Not to mention, homecoming is right around the corner.
Stephanie Brown has your pilot sports.
And Jamie Madison Reddick has your weekend forecast. I'm Bowie Williams.
And I'm Michaela Fredericks. We're your pilots.
And this is your morning flight.
Are you ready to take flight?
All right, it looks like we have a lot going on this week.
Agreed. Don't forget that homecoming begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the Spelman Field.
Additionally, the Clubs and Activities Fair is next Wednesday, right after school on the first floor.
Ms. Norberto is back with a new guidance corner as she addresses the seniors who will be taking the SATs for the first time and those who are taking it again.
Hi everybody and welcome to Guidance Corner, where weekly I will be giving you some updates on what you should be doing in terms of guidance in the college application process. So I'll make it really brief today and easy so I don't overwhelm you. The things that you want to work on over the next few days: number one, make sure your Naviance account is up and running. You can do college research on there, you can do the college supermatch, all of that right on Naviance. Then make sure you have a common application account up and running as well. You want to start that. It's a little time consuming. There is a part where you want to sit down with a parent or guardian to fill out. There's some information that they need to give you. And then begin to really work on your college essay. I know that sounds like a lot, but you take a little bit each day and you'll have everything done before you know it. And then of course, the final thing is the letters of recommendation. You want to reach out to the teachers first. You want to ask them, and ask them soon because things get very busy for them. You want to be fair to them. And then once you've asked them in person or via email, then you submit that through Naviance. Now again, your guidance counselors, each one of us, we're here to help you every step of the way. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Like I said, one step at a time. We'll get through this. We're here for you and with you. And if you have any questions at all, you come and see us, and we're here. Okay? Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Ms. Norberto, for your wise words. Speaking of seniors, here's Stephanie Brown with your pilot sports.
I'm your sports analyst, Stephanie Brown, and these past 2 weeks, our teams had quite a few victories. Let's take a look. On September 9th, the girls soccer team had a preseason scrimmage against Preston and were victorious by a score of 4-2. Goals were scored by Anastasia Kay, Genesis Alvarez, Paula Rosario, and Kaylin Munoz. Goalies Ruby Rodriguez had 4 saves and I had 6 saves. Just 2 days later, the girls had their season opener against St. Vincent Ferrer and won by a score of 2-1. Goals were scored by Paula Rosario and Anastasia Kay. Goalies Ruby Rodriguez had 6 saves and I had 8 saves. Tuesday, September 21st, the girls played very well in a tough game against McClancy. Kaylin Munoz scored 1 goal, and goalies Ruby Rodriguez had 5 saves, and I had 6 saves. The girls' next game is on homecoming at 10 a.m. against the Mary Louis Academy. Recently, I got the opportunity to sit down with Michaela, and we spoke with Mr. O'Donnell, the new athletic director for Spelman. Let's take a look. I'm Stephanie Brown, your sports analyst, and I'm here with your CS1 host, Michaela Fredericks, and we're interviewing Mr. Kyle O'Donnell, our new athletic director here at Cardinal Spelman High School. Mr. O'Donnell, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you guys very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. So, Mr. O'Donnell, could you tell us a little bit about your background here at Spelman when it comes to pilot sports?
So after playing collegiate sports myself, I played football and lacrosse in college. My whole career aspiration was to become a teacher and to become a coach. So when I was doing my student teaching my senior year in college, I said I just want to go to a high school in the Bronx that has a football team. And I ended up here at Cardinal Spelman, and I was lucky enough to get a job the following year, and I started coaching football then. I coached just about every level of football that we had here, and then in 2009, 2010, we started the lacrosse program, and I've been associated with those programs ever since.
So, since you've been involved so much, what is something that you're most excited to do as athletic director?
One of the things that I'm most excited to do as athletic director is to take over the great legacy that the athletic directors who've been here ever since Cardinal Spelman began, what they really kind of started and developed. Mr. Salciaza, who we have a beautiful statue in his honor in the courtyard, and obviously Mr. Opper and Ms. Morris. They've just done a tremendous job. So the prospect of, jumping into a role and really, starting or going over what they've started, it was so enticing to me.
That's really great.
So with all this in mind, what does a day in the life of an athletic director look like?
Well, so far we're just in preseason, but right now it's starting early, contacting other coaches, other ADs, making sure everything is set for the week, speaking with our coaches, speaking with our players, making sure everything that they need for that day is all set up, and then doing a lot of planning, social media stuff, web stuff, just making sure that we get the Pilot Athletic brand out there. That's huge. So that's a big part of the day. But there's just a lot going on, and I love that. I kind of thrive off that energy.
So you've had a few different roles here at Cardinal Spellman High School, but what's something that has remained the same throughout each of them?
My love of Cardinal Spellman High School, and I know that is the corniest answer that anyone could give, and I think every veteran teacher who's been here for a long time can attest to this. If you've been at Spellman for X amount of years, you love the place. You fall in love with the kids in the school. You fall in love with the building itself. You just fall in love with the community aspect of it. So when I began coaching and teaching, I love that. I love being a part of something that I see is, bigger than myself, and that's what Spellman is. And then when I became director of admissions, it was showing my love for Spellman to the prospective students and trying to get them to see that this could be a really great place for them to thrive as students. And then as the assistant principal of academics, showcasing your guys' talents in the classroom to a broader community so that everyone could see that. So I guess that love of Spellman and then marketing that and really kind of showcasing that to everyone to show what advantages attending Cardinal Spellman has.
So with that in mind, being that you've held so many different roles in the school, I'm assuming you've learned something specific and unique from each one of these roles. How do you plan to take on what you've learned from those roles and integrate it into your new position?
Well, I think it's knowing the Spellman community as much as I've learned over the past 16 years that I've been here, and taking those little facts, those little trivia pieces from knowing everything about Spellman and integrating that into the sports program so that we can build it up even greater than what it is right now.
So is there anything that you will miss now that you're athletic director that you'll miss from when you were assistant principal of academics?
I miss working really closely with the teachers themselves because we have such a phenomenal faculty here. I can't express my gratitude to each and every one of the teachers here for just doing such a great job to really help our students, excel in the classroom. So that's one thing that I'm really going to miss. But I'm now going to transition that to working with the coaches and doing the same thing on the athletic side.
So you spoke a lot about community in Spellman, outside of the classroom and inside of the classroom. What is your favorite part about the sports community here at Spellman?
I think my favorite part of the sports community here at Spellman is just that it is like a family. I know when I grew up and when I was in high school, athletics was such a big part of my life. Every team that I was a part of was an extension of my family, and I really see that here at Spellman, especially when I created the lacrosse program. It was in that mindset that it wasn't just going to be a sports team, it was going to be a family. And I think over the years we've been able to do that. So now we'd like to really kind of build upon that on the other sports as well, which there is such a strong foundation of. If you look at all of the other teams that we have here, and you speak to alumni, speak to people who are playing currently in it, there's such a bond that's built at this school in the athletic program. And I think to further that and heighten it a little bit is one of the greatest tasks that I'm taking on as athletic director.
So just one last question. Do you have any plans that you can share with us and the CS1 audience about what you're planning to do for the rest of the school year as athletic director?
I have a ton of plans that are going to be new and exciting and really kind of embrace the student athlete and build upon that community. And I guess to start is probably the biggest one, which is everyone can go on Instagram at spellman.athletics, and you'll be able to see all of the big plans coming in as they unfold.
Well, Congratulations once again, Mr. O'Donnell, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me here today. And as always, go Pilots.
I have one more thing to share with you guys. Recently, we unlocked footage of an interview with Mr. Sal Shiaza, the first athletic director of Spelman from the early 2000s. Here's how that interview went.
I'm Caitlin Nagel. I'm here for Spelman Television with Mr. Shiaza. Hi, Mr. Shiaza.
Good morning.
How are you?
Not doing badly at all. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Fantastic.
And Mr. Shiaza, how long have you been working here at Spelman?
September of next year, I will be entering my 40th year.
Oh, wow. It's a very long time. Have you found it rewarding to work here?
Wouldn't change a minute of it.
And what made you want to get involved in Spelman activities?
Well, when I first came in, I was an athlete in athletics, and I was also a phys ed teacher. So the natural thing was to get involved with extracurriculars. Now, in those days, there were just, I think, 5 laymen on the staff. So as a result, we got involved in a lot of things like graduations and dances and many non-athletic things as well as athletic endeavors. And I stayed with most of them for the 40 years.
What do you think can be done to make the current Spelman teams more competitive in their divisions?
You will find competition gets better with numbers, for the most part. You get the large group teams like football that require, let's say, more talent in more places. Large populations usually succeed. You could field like the smaller teams such as basketball and baseball, with the smaller numbers. So if you take a step back, it's population. The more people you have to draw from, you'll find the more successful teams.
Right, I agree. And do you have any plans to take away any sports or add any new sports, or just want to keep to the core curriculum of what you have so far?
Well, you walk a tight line when you talk about adding and deleting. No, we're not dropping anything unless there's a marked lack of interest in the student body. If we don't have enough people to be competitive, there's no reason to have a team. And starting new teams, we have to be fairly certain that we're able to see it through for 3 or 4 years before we invest the money. Money is always a problem, and not that we don't have enough to do what we have to do, but we have to be careful on how we spend our dollars.
How did you feel about having the fitness center dedicated in your honor?
I was pretty much humbled. That thing I didn't expect. I know I always wanted a fitness center, but I was humbled by it being named after me, that's for sure.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Shiaza.
You're quite welcome, and
we
I
appreciate you doing this.
appreciate the opportunity.
And
to
we
speak
appreciate
with
very much for you enlightening us on the sports and yourself.
Anytime.
Thank you. I'm Caitlin Nagel, here for Spelman Television with Mr. Shiaza.
As always, you can catch the action live by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Cardinal Spelman Bronx. And as always, fly high, pilots.
Gianna Capriglione is back with CS1 and will be bringing us reviews of movies you may find interesting. First up, a classic, Dead Poets Society.
Dare to walk a new path. Dare to strike out and find new ground.
Audiences and critics have found a new and different kind of movie. A movie that's left them cheering and touched their lives.
Yes!
Touchstone Pictures presents Robin Williams.
Well, is this a dagger I see before me?
In the most highly acclaimed movie of the year, Dead Poets Society.
Language was developed for one endeavor, and that is to communicate. No, to woo women.
Gene Shalit hailed Dead Poets Society as a classic, one of the most magnificent motion pictures I've seen.
Tear out the entire introduction. Rip, shred, tear.
It's a compelling drama. Robin Williams' acting will astonish you. Rave sneak previews.
This is a battle, a war, and the casualties could be your hearts and souls.
And Joel Siegel proclaims Robin Williams brilliant. Robin Williams, he'll make you laugh.
I like Byron. I give him a 42, but I can't dance to it.
He'll make you feel.
Seize the day.
I'm gonna do it!
He'll make you care.
Medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits. But poetry, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for.
Touchstone Pictures presents Dead Poets Society. Discover for yourself what all the cheering is about.
Good morning, pilots, and welcome back. I'm your host, Gianna Capriglione, and welcome to the back-to-school edition of Movie Review. Today, I will be talking about Dead Poets Society. This great movie, directed by Peter Weir in 1989, stars the amazing Robin Williams. It follows the story of a group of friends at Waltham Academy, a strict all-boys Catholic school. They meet their new teacher, Mr. Keating, played by Robin Williams, who gives them a new perspective of life and how to be free thinkers. This amazing movie is an adaptation of the book of the same name, written by Tom Schulman. Fun fact, Dustin Hoffman, most famously known for The Graduate, was originally supposed to star and direct in this movie. Also, a large percentage of the acting done by Robin Williams was improvised. The most famous actor to come out of this movie is Ethan Hawke, who married Uma Thurman and is the father of Maya Hawke, who plays Robin in Stranger Things Season 3. This movie is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I recommend it to everyone I know. And just a tip, if you have Mr. Smith for English class this year, start calling him "Oh Captain, my Captain." Go Pilots and Carpe Diem!
Here's Jamie Reddick with this weekend's forecast.
So, is the weather going to continue for the homecoming games?
Good morning, pilots. Yes, Sally, we weren't able to hold our prep rally this morning on the field because of the heavy rain, but as you can see from the map, the movement that is bringing us these showers is moving away and the skies will clear as the weekend progresses. Today, expect cloudy skies with a 100% chance of rain and a high of 67. Saturday starts out cloudy, but the skies will part and the weekend will with a high of 77. Sunday's going to have some pretty sunny skies. Have a great weekend, pilots. Back to you, Michaela and Bowie.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of Morning Flight.
Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube page so you get alerted when new episodes premiere on Friday mornings at 8 a.m.
Plus, keep up with all sporting and special events here at Spelman.
We'll be back next Friday with a new episode where we'll be back in the studio. Until next time, I'm Bowie Williams.
And I'm Michaela Fredericks. Fly high, pilots.